case you are new here, there's only one thing you need to know about this place. And that is this. Winning is all that matters here. Not the game you are playing, not the reputation which precedes you. Just winning. Anything less will be ignored. The 5th LOR Games, and still just one winner. It's tough to imagine our current champion ever losing at this point. Yet, here we are. Another world-class opponent stands before him, ready to go the distance. This time, it is one who recently troubled our champion with a close best-of-5 series, only to lose in the final match. Perhaps by now, Alpha54 has refined his skills enough to finish the job. Then again, it's very possible our champion has done the same and figured out where his own weakness lies, something he is very good at. Winner takes home $1,000. Loser takes home nothing.
Welcome back everybody to week 5 of the LOR Games between undefeated champion Fairy Peak and this week's challenger, another Frenchman, Alpha54. Making this the second time we've had an all-French clash here, the first one being Fairy Peak against Kickoff. This is going to be Alpha's first appearance in a LOR-sponsored event, but he's been making quite the splash in the ranked leaderboards, as well as taking Fairy to a Game 5 in a recent show match. And with Fairy being well documented to start slowly in the first few games of these series, will Alpha be able to push him for the chance to take today's $1,000 prize? Let's on over to Farmstead with commentary coming from Johnny Boy.
And we're off. Game 1, Fairy Peak versus Alpha54, an all-French affair in the 5th episode of the LOR Games. Fairy Peak still undefeated. Some players have taken games off him, some players have taken him all the way to Game 7, but no one has beaten him in this arena. Alpha54 is going to give it a go. That's a good start for Alpha. Bottom left corner, very snug final position for that shot. You notice Fairy Peak off his goal line just enough to sneak the ball past him, but we've got Fairy in the Octane here. It's going to be an interesting series. Switch up from his usual longer car preference, but just as deadly. That's a great save though by Alpha54 on a top corner shot from Fairy. Fairy's going to boost steal, try to find a way to keep shooting. That's a great double touch. It surprises Alpha at the near post. Alpha must have expected this attack to be over when Fairy initially hit that into the back wall. You see there, he's ready to collect the possession when it bounces on the ground, but it's actually a double touch for Fairy. He's gone 1-1. Now, he told me that he feels like he ball chases more in the Octane, so we're going to have to see if that causes him any problems in this series. Alpha54 is one of the most defensive of the current 1v1 gods in Rocket League. Likes to sit back and hit players in the counter-attack. I would say even more so than other defensive players like Flakes. Is that going to work against Fairy Peak? The last time they played, Alpha did not come out on top. It was Fairy Peak winning 3-2. It's another good save though from Alpha that's going to keep him relevant in this match. Fairy Peak going to circle back around and try again from a different angle. He's got the ball into a bounce dribble. He's picking it up and dropping it at will, but Alpha54 is denying him entry into the goal from all kinds of angles. Still though, Fairy Peak challenging so early, creating a whole lot of offensive pressure and chances on net. Alpha this time gets a good challenge in. Decides to use the extra time that he has to grab some boost in the midfield. And now he's going to try and set up a ceiling shot. It's a good first touch. Decides to wave dash and shoot the ball low. Good safe play there from Alpha. After coming off the ceiling, it wasn't really a risky play, although many ceiling shots are, especially in 1v1. Now it's Alpha who's doing a bit of boost starving, but he has to be careful. I'm sure Fairy Peak saved up more than Alpha might expect. Fairy Peak will try to level this out at any minute with a 100 boost grab of his own. Alpha54 though, long shot, looking threatening. I think Fairy Peak can't catch that one. No, he can. It's going to be a save for Fairy, and a good one at that. But Alpha54 air roll shot puts it top corner. He's back in front by 1. Exactly half the game gone. Fairly low scoring affair so far. Pull shot saved by Alpha. What a dodge. Fairy Peak was lining up the open net after the face-off. Alpha54 playing very well against the best ones player on the planet. 2 minutes and change left in the match. Plenty of time for Fairy to figure this one out, but he's having a hard time getting the ball past Alpha and into the net. These two are very familiar with each other, not just in 1v1, but 2v2 as well. Some of the highest rated players in Rocket League at the moment. Fairy Peak this time gets his shot stopped from a full volley at pace. Great read by Alpha. The options Fairy had, but he can't keep him out forever. Fairy Peak levels the game, and it will be another play from that same corner that yields Fairy Peak success. Perhaps a weak spot for Alpha in this matchup. We'll see if Fairy can continue to exploit that side. Still, the player with the vast majority of the possession and the pressure, but Alpha's got to hurry back. That's almost trickled into the net after he missed the ball in favor of a demo. Early flick by Alpha. Didn't want to leave Fairy behind the ball with a chance to ball chase. And now he's foregone the 100 boost grab in the corner just to continue pressure himself. Fairy Peak almost lets Alpha underneath him. Alpha trying to find a way past Fairy without walking into any 50-50s. He doesn't want to leave this one up to chance. Wants a clean opening, and that might be it right there. Fairy Peak shuts the door on it though. And Alpha's going to try and make another chance happen with a bump. This is mostly Alpha dictating the flow of the game. Fairy Peak trying to stay with it. He doesn't have any boost right now. Alpha is going to try and capitalize again. Drops the ball underneath Fairy, but I think Fairy's got just enough on it to keep Alpha at bay. Fairy with so much pressure on the ball, but Alpha finds a way through. And he had all the patience in the world for this one. Fairy Peak couldn't get goal side one last time. And he's trailing by 1 with 45 seconds to go in the first match. Can Alpha hold on to this lead? It's been a very low scoring game. Great touch on the face-off opportunity from Alpha. He will shank it wide of the net. Of course, he doesn't need another goal right now. All he needs is to waste some time. Keep Fairy off the ball for as long as possible. Looks like Fairy has created an opportunity. That's going to go in. Alpha let his guard down for a moment. Fairy Peak punishes him. 24 seconds left. We're all tied up. Octane Fairy Peak looking every bit as dangerous as the Batmobile variation. High hit to the backboard by Fairy. Alpha collects it. He has to be careful here. Fairy was hunting a demo. He's coming in for another double touch on that same side that he scored from earlier, but this time it's gone way too softly. Alpha collects it, and he's taken a shot on Fairy's net, which will trickle in. 3 seconds left. And Alpha54 takes the lead. Fairy Peak went for the double touch, and he couldn't hit it hard enough. Alpha stayed grounded. He's picked up the ball, and he scored a goal with just 3 seconds left. I don't even know if Fairy can keep it up. He can't. It's game 1 to Alpha.
A very close game, one that Alpha is able to sneak by in. He vastly outpaced Fairy with boost use with consistent small boost pickups, but will need to be more consistent with long shots as he missed 2 of them that could have made this game a little bit more comfortable.
And so Alpha surprises Fairy Peak with a game 1 win. Let's see if he can keep that up going into the second game of the series. It's best of 7 here, as always in the LOR games. Strong challenge by Fairy early on, but it doesn't go in. Alpha's going to have to look out for those early contests by Fairy Peak. Loves to dive in and challenge as early as possible if he thinks his opponent can't see him, but Alpha's got full vision of him here, and that's going to be a long shot for Alpha54. Fairy Peak not coming in from a hidden angle. The ball is offering him no disguise this time. The wall shot for Alpha was good from distance. 1-0. I think even if he didn't have the wall shots on target, Fairy Peak's recovery was going to be pretty substantial. I don't know if he was going to save any follow-up from Alpha54 either. That might actually be 2-0. Alpha with the ball chase. After the kickoff, Fairy Peak picked up the 100 boost, but it doesn't matter because Alpha stays with the play. He's up by 2, really bringing his A-game to this series. For $1,000 on the line, and the winner does take everything. Fairy Peak's already won 4,000 in the LOR games by winning 4 weeks in a row. This is his most difficult start yet. Alpha54 actually in such a good spot to make it 3-0. Fairy Peak's so far out of the game. He's scored his own car, but the ball is far away from going into Alpha's net. Fairy Peak looking lost for how to get the ball past Alpha. It's rare that we see him this desperate for goals, having such a hard time finding the back of his opponent's net, as Alpha makes it 4-0. Another strong kickoff for the underdog. Looks like Fairy Peak should be taking possession here, but actually gives it off. Alpha grabs boost in the midfield, strikes strong to the bottom corner across the goal. It was Fairy Peak who got the save this time, but Alpha's still very much in this play. This is Fairy Peak dictating the flow. Alpha's with him every step of the way, and he's about to make it 5-0 unless he's missed this open net. It looks like he has actually missed the open net. Fairy Peak has run back to make sure that the dish is no longer a possibility. 3 minutes, 20-odd seconds left in this game. Alpha54 firmly in the driver's seat. You've got to think he's good enough to pick up a couple games against Fairy Peak if they do go back and forth. The last time they played before this was a best-of-5 where Fairy Peak won 3 games to 2. So this is a great start for Alpha. Oh, he just misses out on a 5th goal. Post denying him. He's recovered well though, and he's still in with a good chance of saving whatever Fairy Peak comes up with. It's an air dribble bump, but Fairy Peak makes it work. Alpha thought it was just going to be a standard air dribble, dove in the way of the ball, but Fairy Peak's flown under it and clattered Alpha out of the way. 1 goal finally on the board for Fairy Peak. He's got more than half the game to try and figure out how to get more past what has been an incredible defense for Alpha54. Another shutdown Fairy Peak offensive play, and the wave dash is not there for Fairy. He's running back, but I don't think he's fast enough. Oh, the crossbar saves him. Fairy Peak was not going to be making a save on that shot by himself. Alpha the one who's firing from distance more often, and Fairy Peak back into the air. Looks for a delayed touch, but Alpha's waiting for that exact play to come through. More long shots for Alpha. He's the one who's looking the more likely to create realistic chances, and he will score again after an extended period of possession. Fairy Peak couldn't get in the way of this volley, and Alpha's lead is back in the 4-goal range. Such an impressive display here by the youngster, the new signing for FC Barcelona. Fairy Peak tries to sneak one by, and it will go in. Alpha this time not reading Fairy Peak's possibilities as well as he could. You have to always keep an eye on the shot options that Fairy Peak has. It looks like Fairy Peak just ran away to get mid boost, and it somewhat confuses Alpha in the process. He didn't even get the mid boost. He didn't get that far. That's what's allowed Alpha to make it back and stop Fairy Peak from scoring another goal. Lots of time being wasted here from Alpha as the ball goes back and forth, and now he's going to deliberately waste even more time. This is a great win condition that Alpha's playing. Doesn't want to take any risks. He's trying to draw Fairy Peak out, and it's worked. He's scored a 6th goal after running the ball all the way back into his own corner. Fairy Peak looking to come forward and aggress the play. May have just conceded in frustration more than anything else. Really solid stuff here from Alpha. This will be the first time that Fairy Peak's trailed by 2 games in the LOR games. He's always been able to keep it within 1. Might be able to draw back 1 more goal here. Yes, he will. Good long shot by Fairy, but it's a setup that was really what made that possible, passing the ball to himself off the sidewall. Fast kickoff by Fairy Peak. That's a mix-up that you're not used to seeing from him. Thought maybe he could beat Alpha to the ball. Alpha landed backwards there. He had to dodge, reverse into the ball. Fairy Peak thinks about jumping for this ball, but thinks again when he sees that Alpha is going to beat him to it. Alpha still really low on boost in this play. Can Fairy Peak make a shot opportunity happen? It doesn't look like it's coming anytime soon. And in fact, it's Alpha looking threatening again. That's almost a 7th goal for Alpha54. 33 seconds of the clock. Fairy Peak has to score soon, or this game might be over. With that clear from Alpha, it's even less likely that Fairy Peak's coming back. What a bump, though, by the great Frenchman. I think, though, he's missed this open net. That's a disaster for Fairy. Such a good aerial bump to give himself another chance to come back in this game too. But he's missed the open net, and that will be game 2 to Alpha. He's moving ahead by 2 games in this series, and he almost scores a tight angle rebound just to add insult to injury.
Alpha seemed to be living in Fairy's side of the pitch for the first 2 minutes of that game, nearly doubling his amount of boost stolen, an 11 average boost above his opponent. Fairy will need to find a new way past his French counterpart. With 5 of his 9 shots saved, he is truly struggling to break Alpha down.
Let's just say you've settled down for a nice game of carball, and everything's going as it normally does. You win some, you lose some. Up a rank, down the rank. Spreading the toxin that is your inability to control primal outbursts. When, out of nowhere, you score the goal of a lifetime. It's so incredible, in fact, that you know no living being would believe your sweaty hands were capable of such perfection. Frantically, you search for the best way to share this with the world. Recording a video won't do. It takes too much time. The world needs to know right now, and in a way that can be shared by all. Think, think, think. What about a GIF? GIF your game. What could this be? Push a button, get a GIF? No, that's impossible. Rendered on our own GTX 1080 machines and saving your computer the hassle. Who do these people think they are? The highest quality GIFs delivered in minutes? Scam artists. I can smell the smelly rubbish from here. Oh well, no time to waste. Let's give it a go. Downloading. Installing. This must be what it feels like to get a virus. Alright, let's find the goal. There it is. Push the button. Interesting. I've received a GIF. Is this my goal? It can't be. It is! My beautiful goal! GIF your game. Push a button, get a GIF. We handle the rest.
And there is the car switch that a lot of you may have seen coming. Fairy is back in the Batmobile. Now, if you're wondering why he was playing the Octane, start this one off, it's because he has switched back to the Octane in 3v3. He didn't want to mix things up too much. But this is him back in the Batmobile for ones, and it's a great start. What a shot to the top corner for Fairy. You know, this might be the mix-up that he needs, because Alpha's had a good read on what Fairy's capable of in the Octane with regards flicks and shots. He's been spacing himself almost perfectly to always just get a save on what Fairy Peak is doing. The Batmobile might give Fairy Peak that deceptive edge. It is harder to gauge the shots sometimes, the power that the Batmobile is able to generate. Alpha thinks about the flip reset, but the ball's reaching a little bit too far away from him. He'll have to run back and defend against another Fairy Peak flick. Still tied up here after Alpha's kickoff goal equalizer. Fairy Peak looking menacing. He circles the edge of the box. Slows down the play so much when he plays the bat, and this time he will find the top corner from the bounce dribble. Just looks at home all of a sudden, does Fairy Peak. Alpha54, meanwhile, might be slightly worried about the turn that this series may be taking. He's played against Fairy in the Batmobile before and done reasonably well, so I'm sure he won't be too concerned just yet. But for now, Fairy Peak is dictating midfield play for almost 100% of this game. Switches to the left-hand side. Alpha follows him, draws out the early shot, saves it. Fairy Peak is still the one in control here. He's managed to secure the next play for himself, and he almost scores the rebound. Crossbar saves Alpha. It looks like he's going to have to do some more defending, because Fairy Peak is not leaving his half anytime soon. He's stolen another boost from the defensive corner. Alpha's boost has to be diminishing fast. It looks like Alpha will concede again, as Fairy Peak makes good on the boost advantage. Alpha just needed a 50-50 here more than anything else. Getting dunked on is not ideal by any means. Fairy might make it 4 here. He's got the ball on top of his car. The flick is on target, but is saved by Alpha. He's been in defense almost the entire game. Just that one kickoff opportunity is all he's had. Fairy Peak catches the ball out of a ceiling shot. Just to put another shot on target. He's still aggressing Alpha here. He knows Alpha's low on boost, and he's trying to keep it that way. Doesn't want to give Alpha a chance to come out and grab boost anywhere on the map. Looks like Alpha has done that, but Fairy Peak is still dictating the play. Finally, Alpha will have a chance. The demo nets him a possession, but can he make anything happen from it? He didn't have the highest shooting percentage this series so far, but it has been high enough, and Alpha does find the back of the net second time of asking. Quick turn on the wall. Catches Fairy off guard. Fairy has been ball chasing most of his challenges, so Alpha can profit if he keeps playing quickly. Again, he tries to do that, anticipating an early challenge from Fairy Peak, which was the case, so good play again by Alpha. Fairy Peak is still the one in control for the majority of the time. Still the one with the majority of the boost and the majority of ball control. Alpha just narrowly missed on that demo attempt. Fairy Peak's trying to sneak in a run up so he can shoot this ball high. Alpha dives in and Fairy gets it under him. 2 minutes left, and Fairy Peak with a delicate touch centers it to himself and makes good on the finish. 4-2. Fairy Peak this time the one with the soft touch, reading Alpha's early challenge. He gets the ball past him and into the net. It's only a 2-goal game, but Fairy Peak feels like he's been in control for 90% of it. Decides not to pull the trigger on that flick, as the ball was going to be a little bit too high. But the loop around and shot are both perfectly timed. And he gets his 5th goal. More Fairy Peak pressure, more Fairy Peak goals. What a difference the car can make. It's 5-2 now. Not a comfortable score for Alpha. Make it 6. He's passed the ball down the middle, and Fairy Peak's waiting there. Don't know if that was a read or just a little bit of a fortunate landing, but either way, Fairy Peak is still absolutely crushing Game 3. Alpha with a freebie. Looks like he'll be able to secure it. As Fairy Peak whiffs on a low boost kickoff goal attempt. Still firmly in the driver's seat though is Fairy Peak, and that kickoff going in his favor. Looks like it's just going to amplify that fact. And this time Alpha will get the save. Fairy Peak avoids the demo though. And Alpha's long shot doesn't look too threatening for a goalkeeper of Fairy Peak's caliber. Not only does he save it, but he takes control of the ball while doing so. It's a nice high flick. He had Alpha in his vision there. There was never any real danger of being tackled, but here comes Alpha off the ceiling. Fairy Peak's up early. Alpha gets it past him, but it is off target. Fairy Peak's staying with the ball. He doesn't want to give Alpha any unnecessary space. Back off he must, as Alpha had enough boost to outplay him there. Fortunately, he didn't outplay the crossbar, and he still trails by 3. It's 45 seconds left for Alpha to try and come back. What a crazy comeback it would be if he can make it happen, especially with how well Fairy's been playing. That's not a bad start. The mind game from Alpha nets him his 4th goal. Fairy Peak getting completely caught off guard by this one. After realizing that Alpha wasn't shooting, he tried to remedy the situation with a backflip, but it was too late. He'd already committed too far forward. Still though, Fairy Peak leads by 2. He also has the ball after this kickoff. Alpha's going to swipe it straight off his head, and suddenly we have a 1-goal game. Alpha has somehow managed to bring this one back after Fairy Peak dominated for almost the entire match. Still Fairy Peak's to lose. Is he going to score to make it that bit harder? Not this time. Alpha with a good save to the top corner, but with only 13 seconds left. Fairy Peak on the ball. Alpha54 is going to have to do something about this. He's going to have to intercept something. or else Fairy Peak will win, courtesy of the clock. It's just 2 seconds left now. Alpha's on 0-second time. He has to keep this one up, and it's not going to happen. Fairy Peak wins in Game 3.
Despite another solid defensive effort, Alpha was unable to hold on against a barrage of well-angled shots from a Fairy Peak who seemed to be dominating the midfield challenges in the early game. The question now becomes, will Fairy now go on to find the level of form he has found on Game 3 onwards so many times in the LOR games?
Perfect switch of pace in Game 3 by Fairy. Will Alpha find a way to counter that? Fairy looks to be a lot more comfortable in the Batmobile. That's a good start for Alpha. He does find the net wide open after a face-off. Bit of a cheeky interception to make that happen. Fairy thought that he'd surprised Alpha by moving in early. Feels like Alpha was ready for that. And some. 1-0 to the underdog. This is a key game for Alpha. If he does end up losing this, he won't be feeling too good about his 2 wins before. So he'll have lost 2 in a row to Fairy in the Batmobile, and no doubt he'll be facing against the Batmobile in the next game, given how well Fairy played Game 3 in the Bat. He just looks a little more comfortable overall, able to switch up the pace and keep Alpha guessing. There's no doubt Alpha didn't have as good a read on him, but that's a great shot by Alpha at the near post. What a flick! He had Fairy Peak completely confused. Fairy not expecting such a fast flick to come in from that tight angle, but Alpha's really out of position here. Fairy Peak makes him look a little bit silly on this play. So Alpha knew he had to recover fast, but Fairy Peak also saw that coming. Chips it behind him. It's 2-1 now in favour of Alpha. It's the kind of touch that you probably wouldn't have seen from Fairy Peak in Game 1 and 2 though. Doesn't have the confidence, it seems, in his solo plays in the Octane, but with the Batmobile, everything seems a lot more deliberate. Precise. Good power by Alpha. Both of these guys are such heavy hitters of the ball. Any time that you leave your net open for just a split second, you can bet there's a power shot flying towards it. Alpha fires 2 in a row, and his reward is boost control and the ball. Can he make good on that? Fairy Peak looks like he's going to even out this total, but no, Alpha with a boost steal. Look at that spawn grab on the boost. Alpha knew that it was coming up, but still very impressive he could time it. Looks like it's not going to help him though, as Fairy Peak levels things out. It's just a 50-50 in the midfield. Alpha turning not once but twice on this, and then just decides to backflip. And he didn't get through the center of the ball at all. Fairy Peak with an easy goal to level the score. Now here comes Fairy, the kickoff goal, and it will be good. 3-2 now in favor of Fairy. Alpha's lead is long gone. There's still 3 minutes left in this game though. Can he figure out a way to answer Fairy Peak's Batmobile plays? It's a good idea that he's got there, just bumping Fairy way out of the game. But it seems like Fairy is sneaking in challenges right now, and that's worrying if you're Alpha54, because you can't allow Fairy Peak easy challenges. That's a lot better. This time Alpha keeps Fairy in his sights, and he knocks one past him. 3-all. Seems to be the main goal for Alpha. Well, besides scoring, of course, is to just keep his eye on Fairy. Don't let Fairy do anything that would surprise him. Fairy Peak is trying to challenge as early as possible. He's always coming from behind the ball, just to make sure that Alpha can't see him coming. No boost on Alpha. Is Fairy Peak going to shoot this one long? No. Heavy touch, actually, by Fairy. That's not what he had planned. I'm sure he was trying to take control of that ball. Instead, he's knocked it away from himself. Just under half the game to go. Fairy Peak has to leave the back corner boost for Alpha, but he's going to run the ball all the way back into his own half, just to keep control of the play. Beautiful control there by Fairy. Alpha's interrupted him though. So we're 2 minutes left. It's another slow dribble by Fairy into an air dribble, and it looks like it's going to go in. It is indeed. Fairy Peak with a very delayed touch here, and he's even hit Alpha out the way at the end, just to make sure that nobody's going to be saving that shot. 2 minutes and 4 seconds left in Game 4. If Alpha doesn't win this, Fairy will be equaling his game score total as well. Air roll shot by Alpha is good. What a finish by Alpha54 here. He's actually changed his flight path in the middle of the play. Starts off being right behind the ball and then dives to the left of it just so he can knock it to the right past Fairy. Has he got enough power on his kickoff goal shot? It looks like he does. Alpha back in the lead by 2. Fairy Peak using a lot of boosts on that kickoff. Didn't have any left to recover with. That's cheeky by Alpha. He's tried to dunk on Fairy's kickoff. This time it won't work. In fact, Fairy's punished him pretty hard for this. Is Alpha going to be able to escape this period of play without conceding? It looks dodgy, but perhaps still solid. And actually, Fairy Peak lets go of the grasp that he had on Alpha. He had Alpha completely boxed in, boost starved. One miscalculation is all it took for Alpha to grab 100 boost in the corner. Another delayed airwell shot by Fairy Peak. And that's one way to equalize the game. Gets right underneath the ball and scoops it into the top corner just when Alpha thought the play was over. Fairy Peak finds one extra touch. One of the closest games we've seen all series. It is Alpha who's got the next goal. What a finish off the back wall. I don't know how Alpha's found that angle with such consistency and speed. Fairy Peak, you can see he was getting ready to just collect the ball as it falls off the wall, but it's gone into his own net. Now he's going to look for an equalizer, which he finds. Both these guys are just slugging it out here, goal after goal. Just over a minute left in game 4. And it's anyone's game. So many goals flying in for a series which has been pretty low scoring overall. Now finally a save comes in for Alpha. Fairy Peak not to be outdone though. Continues his attack. Heavy hit to the backboard, but Alpha stays grounded, at least until the rebound. Not the best first touch by Fairy. I think he could have scored if he had a better one. But he still does have control. The top corner will be the final destination for the ball. What a shot by Fairy. So difficult to save. Alpha54 doesn't know if he's going to shoot this across the goal or back into the top corner nearest him. Turns out the latter is the case this time. Alpha couldn't figure it out fast enough. Now he's got a good position on Fairy, but Fairy closes the distance well, and that might actually be rolling in. Fairy Peak takes a 2-goal lead with just 27 seconds left. Alpha doesn't punish Fairy with his first try on the kickoff. He needed more with that possession play. He needed to try and at least box Fairy in, keep him back so he can't score another goal. He's done well here to come out with possession. He doesn't have any boost to play with, and Fairy Peak knows that. Stays low, blocks Alpha's angle. It looks like Fairy's going to be tying up the series here, as it's becoming absolutely impossible, and now it is for Alpha to score twice. Fairy Peak levels things up.
Each player's shot variety and willingness to commit on a play was much higher this time around, but unfortunately for Alpha, that's not the sort of game you're going to win against Fairy Peak, as he ties up the series. Although a lot of that was thanks to Fairy Peak gifting himself possession from the kickoffs. Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Shogun, and in association with GifYourGame, it is once again time to rank your top 10 goals of the week. Starting us off this week is RL Marshall, patrolling the field to ensure your defense is up to standard. If this next goal looks wild and crazy to you, that's probably because you're absolutely right. Still, SXR managed to make it work. Up next is Chaotix, who isn't happy to just win this 1v1. He wants the coup de grace. We seem to have a puppet master of sorts at number 7, with Matrix bending his opponent to his will. Now I want you to quickly guess which corner this ball is going to end up in. Don't worry, I got it wrong as well. But no prizes for guessing where this shot from Danky is going, with a vicious strike into the top corner. Up next, we're going coast to coast with Dalil Monster's devilish flip reset. Team play is always going to be my jam, and this one from Rezi and his teammate is just simply brilliant. This next goal from Ease can only be described in one way. Pure class. But this week's winner is Scythe, who goes around the world before striking the ball into the top corner. Congratulations to Scythe on winning this week's $100 prize. And if you would like to be featured on next week's list, all you have to do is submit your goal to the Goal of the Week channel on the GifYourGame Discord. I am Mega Shogun, and I'll see you next week.
Troubling times if you're Alpha54. Fairy Peak drops 2 games in a best of 7, switches to the Batmobile, and immediately equalizes. It's a best of 3 from this point onwards, and of course, Fairy's still in the Bat. Alpha hasn't been able to beat Fairy's Batmobile today. Let's see if he can do it in Game 5. He's off to a strong start here. Has the open net. Fairy spawns. Far side. That's where Alpha wanted him to spawn, so he wouldn't be able to challenge straight away. Fairy Peak's challenge is still successful, and he avoids the follow-up demo. And that's Fairy Peak. Out of attack and into offense. Makes it look all too easy. Delayed flick, but this time not too much height on it. Alpha54 will save it. Fairy Peak caught on the wrong foot again, but Alpha's faking more than shooting here. He kind of fakes himself out of a goal-scoring opportunity just so he can set up a bump on the back wall, which Fairy avoids. Alpha's got to be so careful. Fairy Peak could have a good bit of boost saved up here. He's not been forced to make any saves or dive into the air at all. And just like that, rips a shot high. Alpha did not have an answer for that if it was on target. Luckily for him, he's come off the post and he's still in control. This time he has Fairy Peak in his sights. Sets up the air dribble bump. Doesn't even need to land it because Fairy's behind the ball. Alpha opens his scoring in Game 5. It's like Fairy was aware that the air dribble bump was coming in. Tried to go underneath Alpha and then hit the ball from behind him. Bit of an unconventional way to save that shot. It's a difficult one to stop if Alpha plays his cards right. Fairy knew he had to try something fancy. Fairy Peak wall shot from his own half. It doesn't look like it's hit the ceiling. In fact, it's hit the crossbar. What a boomer by Fairy. So much power he's hit the bar from deep in his own half. Alpha still in the lead in this 5th game. And it's been a quieter start to the match than what we had last time. No, not too many goals yet, but Fairy Peak's making some really slick flick plays with the Batmobile. Softest first touch, and a lot of height on the flick that followed just to make sure that Alpha can't get a dunk on it. Looks like Alpha54 will secure the back corner boost in Fairy's half. Fairy's going to hide behind the ball. He has 20 boost to play with. All he needed was a 50-50 to give himself some time to run and get more boost. He realized Alpha missed this boost in the corner, so he just challenged early. Now Fairy Peak with a ceiling shot. He's still deciding how to use his dodge. Decides actually not to use it and just catch the ball. It's not the strongest aspect of Fairy Peak's game, the ceiling shot, but he does have a reliable recovery, so he can still go for them, even if he doesn't plan to use the dodge at any moment. Backflip shot by Alpha. Doesn't make contact. Luckily for him, backflip shots tend to leave you in a good position. Fairy Peak with another mind game. This time Alpha's pre-jump, but manages to stay low enough. He's in a really bad spot though. Fairy looking for more goals. Oh, he can't find one though because Alpha managed to get a great save. Has he just missed this open net though? That is not good enough for Alpha. He needs to be scoring those. Fairy Peak is usually the one in this matchup who gets the most shots, the most chances on net. Alpha has to be so efficient. Side flip shot is going to creep in. Alpha takes the lead 2-1. Needed perfect placement here to get the ball past Fairy Peak and into the goal, but perfect placement is exactly what he had. And with just over 2 minutes left, Alpha gets his nose in front. Fairy Peak wins another kickoff to the left. Alpha's going to get a touch just to waste some time. Securing himself a boost in the back corner. Fairy Peak is just hiding behind the ball again. He knows Alpha's likely to come in for a challenge, so he just tries to get the best hitbox he can. Now, the ball is on the right-hand side of the field. Fairy Peak tries the demo, only gets a bump. The flick afterwards is exactly what he needed. What a play by Fairy. Alpha somehow saves it, but not enough to get it past the post. And that's just great stuff by Fairy Peak. Even though the initial play didn't pan out as he expected, he's still fully focused on the task ahead. And he gets a goal with a cheeky turnaround. Alpha looking for the far corner, and he gets it! Look at the placement from Alpha. Very big looking for boost in the corner. Didn't think that the shot was that soon incoming. Alpha finds it in the bottom corner. Opposite side of the goal from where he scored his second goal this game. Another stealing shot by Fairy, just refusing to use his dodge. Of course, Alpha knows that Fairy has a dodge there, so he can't really challenge. Because if he does, Fairy will just hit it over him. He's also not too bothered by Fairy Peak coming in at such a low angle. Even if Fairy does dodge, Alpha will probably be able to save that. 55 seconds left. Low 50-50 attempted by Alpha, but it doesn't get past Fairy. Good evasion by Alpha on the back wall. Fairy was trying to demo him as the ball looped across. Alpha was keen to Fairy Peak's tricks. Good first touch this time by Fairy. The shot is into the bar again though. Surely not. No, Alpha does keep it out. Poor Fairy Peak had to try twice, but he gets it on the second time. Alpha may have had a chance to dive into that ball and try and save it. Decided to turn away. Hang on though. Another kickoff attempt, but it's wide of net. Alpha. Difficult open net to secure that time, but he needs to be scoring these. And it's Fairy Peak who shows him how it's done. No, the post denies him as well. Both players not having a good time with their shooting at the moment. Game 5 has been a tense one. Much more lower scoring than the last. As we enter 0-second time, it's Fairy Peak on the ball. And he can't keep it up. Into overtime we go. It's 3-all on the score. Will Fairy Peak get a kickoff goal? You bet he will! Scoops it in. Fairy Peak takes the lead in the series.
Yet another game where Fairy Peak comes in clutch for the later parts. Alpha will now be kicking himself for that open net miss with 27 seconds remaining, especially given how similar it was to the way Fairy went on to score in overtime. Stats-wise, it stays the same, with Alpha doing a great job with boost, but Fairy still maintains majority possession.
Last chance for Alpha. Went into game 3 leading 2-0. Now he enters game 6 trailing 3-2. Fairy Peak Batmobile on a rampage. It's not the best shot to get things started though for Fairy. You would expect that to be rifling into the top corner or being slow played in some way. The way that Fairy Peak turns over possession is just beautiful to watch. So efficient with his touches. Definitely for me the best player in the world at identifying weakness in his opponent, spotting openings to exploit. And there's one, and 1-0 for Fairy. Alpha gets taken out of the game, and Fairy Peak takes the lead. Kickoffs also for Fairy have been a bit stronger than Alpha overall this series. Alpha looks like he's going to tie things up though, and yes he will. Just a double jump pop here. Fairy Peak tried to challenge backwards, but he picked the worst moment to do it. Alpha just about to pop the ball. Didn't have to change anything in that play. Fortunately for Alpha, it was on target, but unless he can bump Fairy. Yes, he can. What a bump by Fairy. Or by Alpha, rather. To keep Fairy from scoring a kickoff goal. Kickoffs have been interesting. Fairy Peak's won the possession on most of them, but Alpha's had a couple of kickoff goals as well. And it's mostly due to him saving more boost than Fairy in the face-off. So if the ball does spill out into an evenly spaced location, Alpha's usually the one to get there first. Fairy Peak still getting so many more opportunities to score though than Alpha. And every time that he does shoot on net, gets a boost steal immediately afterwards. That's completely hamstringing Alpha, preventing him from getting any counter-attack started. See, Alpha's followed the ball here, but he doesn't have any boost to actually do anything with it. Fairy Peak's right back into offense in the blink of an eye. Still 1-all though. And Alpha, firing long, is going to get to steal Fairy's boost away. Fairy managing his boost well though. He's still got a fair bit to play with. That's going to net him 100 at the far side after he wastes some time. Alpha's managed to find an opening with a low 50-50. Flick doesn't make contact and he tries to follow through with a demo, which also misses. Fairy Peak's going to throw a ball at Alpha's net, which will be saved. And Alpha trying to find a way past Fairy, who's challenging as early as he can. Looks like Alpha finally has himself in an advantageous spot. Can he get a demo on Fairy? Decides against it. Just looking for that open net, but Fairy's staying with this ball, not making it easy. In fact, no openings are there. Alpha's almost able to sneak one by, but Fairy Peak always in the way. It's a good boost deny though by Alpha. He threatened the demo, got Fairy Peak out of the way, and then bar downs the shot. With just over 2 minutes left, Alpha takes the lead in game 6. He was always going to be the favorite in that 50-50, coming in with so much boost and momentum. With plenty time left on the clock for Fairy to figure out a way to score. You'd have to think that Alpha's got to look for another goal or two just to put the pressure on him. Doesn't want to be leaving this one to a 1-goal game as we go into the final minute. Fairy Peak's so good at finding comebacks. Fairy Peak's got an opening here. Alpha's used all his boost and not got much out of it, but that's a miss on the long-range target by Fairy. There's been a few of these today. He's definitely feeling the pressure. He's having to play at his absolute maximum pace just to keep up with Alpha, who is one of the fastest players in the world. Fairy Peak, of course, has that extra gear that he can go to if he needs. I think he just has an extra gear when he starts playing the Batmobile after seeing what's happened today. Fairy Peak beats Alpha to the ball, and there's 2-all. Alpha thought he had a clean turn lined up, but he did not. Fairy Peak was there and watching every move. And just another 1 goal for Fairy. Maybe all he needs to lock in his 5th LOR games in a row, taking down all of the top competition in EU in the process. Alpha would love to take this to game 7. Would love to get at least 1 win against Fairy's Batmobile. And then, of course, give himself a chance to take the whole thing. But Fairy Peak is not making it easy. Bar down twice. Fairy Peak puts in the rebound. The flicks are just so scary for Fairy Peak. 52 seconds left in the game. Does Alpha have an answer? Does he have anything left in the tank? Does he have any belief left after what Fairy Peak's just done to him? He must have been on top of the world after beating Fairy twice in a row, but Fairy Peak switches car and makes it look as if he's going to win 4 in a row. As he long shoots just out of Alpha's reach. 39 seconds left now. Alpha needs 2 goals. Although he's got the ball from this face-off, it's not an easy shot to execute. Alpha gets it on target, but Fairy saves it. 37 boost for Alpha to play with. Fairy Peak's creeping up, and he does get a challenge in. Not much time left for Alpha, and Fairy puts in another goal. Is that the end of Alpha's contest to Fairy Peak's legacy? Once again, he just doesn't have a good response to Fairy Peak's Batmobile play, and the clock ticks down towards 0 seconds. Alpha still in the hunt for 3 goals. Doesn't look like he's going to get any though, as Fairy Peak puts in a 6th one, or does he? No, he's wasting the time. It's going to be Fairy Peak either way with another LOR Games victory.
Final minute Fairy steps up once again to decimate Alpha's hopes of becoming LOR Games champion. This victory pulls him up to $5,000 won with no end in sight to his dominance. Especially now he's developed that mental factor to push through the difficult closing stages of games. This was another typical Fairy Peak series, with him dropping the first 2 games before ramping up the shot variety. But few of these games came easy for Fairy, with Alpha often holding him to incredibly close matches until the final few moments. However, Fairy remains king of adapting mid-series.